As America approaches its 250th birthday, the White House is preparing to transform the front lawn into an ultimate fighting championship as part of the celebration. Isn't that something? Yeah, some people love the idea, and you know who is hinting it could become a permanent fixture. Isn't that something? Let's look at the clip.
The Eiffel Tower, 1889 it was built. It was supposed to be taken down immediately after the World's Fair. And then they said, you know, we sort of like it. Let's leave it up a little bit longer. And then they said, let's leave it up longer and longer and longer. Well, they never took it down. And, you know, we're building something in front of the White House that's quite attractive to a lot of people. It's going to have the big UFC fight on June 14th. And I'm looking at it, and maybe we'll never, ever take it down.
There's no more American thing than having a UFC fight on the White House lawn. It's so American. It's so Trump. It's so crazy.
A recent poll found that 2 out of 3 Republicans are proud to be an American, but fewer than 1 in 5 Democrats feel the same. I don't know if that's true, but why do you think that is?
Did he really just compare that UFC show to the Eiffel Tower?
He did.
He's trolling.
He did.
Okay, just checking. And also, the most American thing, my mind doesn't jump to like UFC fighting on the White House lawn unless it's a really crazy dream I'm having because I drank too much. I don't understand this, but I couldn't be more proud as we head into this 250th to be American. I think I never really had an identity as someone who'd grown up just here and family, whatever, and then doing the Finding Your Roots with Dr. Gates, traced my lineage back to John Adams and
Not
John
one,
Quincy.
but 2 presidents.
2 presidents, a daughter of the revolution on both sides. I think it just reminds you at a moment like this how deeply patriotic this country is and how many people sacrifice so much to get to this point. It's an imperfect social experiment, and I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
Well, I went through a civil war, I fled communism, and I live in a community in South Florida that is full of people who have fled political turmoil and oppression. And so I will never take for granted the freedom, the refuge, the opportunity that this country awarded me and so many other immigrants who have come here. But I think you can separate feeling proud of America, feeling proud of being an American, feeling proud of the exceptionalism and resilience of this country, and feeling really ashamed and embarrassed and horrified by the American government right now.
Yeah.
I never thought in my entire life I would see U.S. citizens killed for exercising their right to protest, like they killed Alex Preddy and Renee Good in the streets of Minneapolis, or small 5-year-old children used as human bait. Thousands of children are being held in detention centers all over this country, like Dilley outside of San Antonio, in deplorable conditions. They are dying from lack of medical care. They are getting sick from dirty water. So yes, damn it, I am ashamed of that. But I will never stop being proud of being an American.
I think that's very well said. Count me among the 2/3 of Republicans who are very proud to be American. And I don't think that being proud to be American means that you can't acknowledge our country has tremendous flaws. And we call this country an experiment in democracy because it's not guaranteed, because we're actually a very young country. What makes us so unique, and one of the things that makes me love this country so much, is we're unlike any other country on earth in that we are racially, religiously, and socioeconomically incredibly diverse. There's no country on earth that has that. I see it as one of our greatest strengths, but it's also the biggest contributor to a lot of the strife that we've seen over the past hundreds of years. If you think about it, every war in human history has basically come down to one of those things: race, religion, socioeconomics. We have all of those in this country, yet we still power through and aspire to what the message of America can and should be. So on the 250th anniversary, I'm thinking of this aspirational idea. It's about liberty for all. It's about the pursuit of happiness for all. It's about free speech, something I will always defend at this table. That does not mean that we are not going to have real friction ahead of us, but I believe that arc is bending the right direction. It just takes time.
I too sat with Dr. Gates, and I learned a lot about my history. I learned that I'm a descendant of the enslaved who built this country for free, and that a part of my family also enslaved others. And so I think we have a very complicated history here. I think it's a very complicated country. And at this point, I am embarrassed at our government. I'm embarrassed at our lack of health care. I'm embarrassed on the assault on the press. I'm embarrassed of our Congress. I'm embarrassed by the criminal felon president that is in the Oval Office that has a UFC cage on the White House lawn.
It's really American, Sonny.
I'm embarrassed about all those things. And I'm also embarrassed at how America is now seen across the globe. I don't think that many Americans understand that we are part of a wonderful global community. And when you look at our allies are now giving us a 1-star rating as a country. While I am conflicted about this country because I feel that it is, at this point, a failed experiment, quite frankly. I am also discouraged by how this country is viewed by the rest of the world.
You think it's already failed? You don't think you think it's beyond redemption at this point?
I think at this point it is failing. It is a fail.
You don't think elections could bring it back? A change could bring it closer to the vision you have for it?
I spoke to President Clinton when he was here off camera, and he believes that it's going to take this country decades to recover from what has been done.
I don't. I don't think it's going to take us decades because everyone has. Let me start with this. I am really proud to be an American because I've lived in other places, as have we all. Mm-hmm. And to be able to do what we do and not get arrested tells you this is still America. Yeah. I love all the places I've lived, but this is the only country that I know that allows us to do what we do. And for that, I'm ever grateful. For 250 years, if we've gotten to here, forget the last 2 years. Figure how far we got. Figure all the things, all the stuff women were able to do, all the things that we were able to take care of ourselves, finding the ways to make our lives better. That's why glass ceilings were broken. Yeah. That's why people fought and got run over and hit by water cannons. Was for the right to be an American, to be considered an American, which is why I get so angry when I listen to people talk about who we're not. We are all Americans. We don't have to believe everything each other believes, but we're all Americans. This is our country, and we're gonna fight like hell for it.